Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk. Let's get into some NRL news here. I got Abbas with me,
What's doing, guys?
and I got Solomon.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah. All right. Big news in NRL today. Well, not today. Sorry, this week. Kieran Foran injuring his right shoulder. I think it was in the test game against Great Britain.
Yeah, I
So-
told you it was in the haka. He did in the haka.
no.
Does he even know the haka?
I don't know.
So
he was at the back.
initially, what happened was he injured his right shoulder during the game. He was scheduled to be out for around 6 months or so. He had surgery. They found out he needed extra cleaning of his rotator cuff, which means now he'll be out for pretty much the whole year, the whole next season, which is his last season in the Bulldogs jersey. Boys, what's your thoughts? 3 years now, 3 seasons been with the Bulldogs. He's played 26 out of 48 games. What do you think? Worth it or not?
It's just unlucky. Well, what can I say? Like, I'm not gonna want to diss him. Like, he's a great player. At the end of the day, the fallout from this is a joke. The whole 350 grand put aside. He's $1 million player whose contract runs out next year. The Dogs aren't gonna resign him.
Well, that's the thing. The Dogs are gonna apply for, like you said, a $350,000 grant in a way to say, look, can you give us that from the salary cap
that's
so we
stupid.
can replace?
That's
Kieran Foran.
But
But it's set up in place for this kind of stuff.
yeah,
When
but not
players
for
get
an
injured in
expiring
tests.
contract. That's just a joke. Like,
No, but the rules are if someone gets hurt in a test, they need someone. They need something, bro.
no,
You've gotta
I
get some sort of
understand.
compensation.
I understand. What I'm saying is, he's out for 12 months. He's
Mhm.
out till his contract. So he'll be ready after his contract expires,
Yep,
right?
correct.
So they're not going to re-sign him. You don't like they're not re-signing him. I'll be
Doesn't
very
look
shocked
like
if
it,
they
no.
do. It
That's
doesn't
right.
look like they're going to.
That's right. They
So why don't they just compensate him the whole $1 million and let him spend for past 2021?
I guess rules dictate they can't.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
Yeah, but that only states for like if he was still in contract, if he still had 2-3 years, I understand. But his contract expires. You know what I'm trying to say? And everyone's signing right now for 2021. So you've just rid them of a possibility.
Realistically, let's say they do give him the $1 million. Who are the Bulldogs going to buy for $1 million? Which
No,
one's
not $1 million, but I mean, you could buy a couple of players. Like I don't know who they're
better? Yeah,
targeting.
but you need to.
God,
so
you don't know who anyone's targeting
But
anymore.
why is it the league's problem that Foran got injured? They took a chance on a player like that. Why is it their
But
problem?
I think another.
That's not my point. My
That-
point
that-
is,
but
my
that's-
point
but
is,
that's what the league will say. They'll say, why should we, whatever, give you the $1 million just because one of your players got injured? The injuries happen all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
doesn't-
it was in
doesn't-
a test match. It wasn't in a club footy
But why is he even?
they
allowed
don't
to-
have jurisdiction over that. But like,
so why was he even allowed to play the test match?
because if you make yourself ineligible for test, then you will probably be shunned by the country for the rest of your career.
you probably get fined as well.
Okay, but you're Kieran Foran.
Fines, huh?
You've played 26 out of 48 games for your club. Surely the Canterbury Bulldogs say, listen, you're coming back, kick back. You don't need to go in and do this right now. Enjoy your off season. We'll see you next season because you're contracted to play for us.
But that doesn't matter. So as an international player, you make money, right? So unless Bulldogs are going to compensate him the match fee that he's going to get for New Zealand, they can't really say anything because then he could take them. I'm not sure if he could or not, but he could take them to court because if they go, well, he gets to them, why is Zelezniak allowed to play New Zealand and I'm not? Why are you putting restrictions on me just because I'm injured?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So
but it's
you
different
can't stop. Yeah,
but it's like Premier League, for example, right? You put restrictions.
yeah, but
You're-
you can't. But
you
there's
on a player to go international. You don't want to get injured, so you say, hey, listen, just relax. It's just a test match. Like it's not a big deal.
So don't go hard for your country.
So
Not now.
But
Take the break. You need the break, and look what happened.
you can't play with you can't.
But it was gonna happen inevitably. If we had an issue like that, it was gonna happen.
That's the thing. You can't coach a player on injuries that he might get. Like that's just it's
You can't
gonna
protect the
happen.
player that
You
much.
can't protect him. His injuries.
What
if
happened in
he's
training?
Injury prone, he's injury prone. You know what I mean? I believe that if you're injury prone, it's probably because you're not taking care of your body as well as you should. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron, he takes care of his body so good, and he barely gets any injuries. He takes a lot of games off. You know, he's not a Kobe Bryant in that sense. But
Not Kawhi, bro.
Save for another video.
but yeah, he's just I don't think he's taking care of his body. I don't think his mind, even though I thought he was one of the best halfbacks towards the end of the season last year, I think he did what he did with the Bulldogs the final, last 6 games.
6 games, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, wow, that was pretty good. Like, I don't think Bulldogs were anywhere near an NRL caliber team throughout the whole season. And yeah, what he did with them, for the last 6 games was just ridiculous. I just thought, one of the best halfbacks in that last 6 round. But at the same time, I don't think his head's in footy as much as it should be. I mean, I look at his Instagram. You look at other players in the league. You look at the Manly boys. You look at you even look at like Addo Carr, all those other guys. They're always putting up videos of them hanging out with their teammates in training, wherever they are. They're really involved. They're a unit in the team, and you might see some Bulldogs players even doing that. But with Kieran Foran, he looks like he's just happy with his life and his life outside of football, and he doesn't really put much interest in his life.
I'm sure he's mates with some of them. He's an older bloke as
no,
well.
I'm not saying he's not.
He's
mates.
had a lot of issues as well.
But
he's come through that, so now
he's gotten over it.
He's got a different
bit,
outlook of life now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
100%.
like, if he had played every game for the Dogs wouldn't be in this mess. Like they would have made finals at least once with him. He's that good of a player.
So then, in saying that, do you resign him next season?
No, well, you don't, because why would you? He's not going to expect anything less.
Yeah, if you were to re-sign him, it wouldn't be for more than 400,000 a year.
And he won't accept.
He won't accept 400,000 a year.
He'll go to Super League or something. But that's my point about the whole 350k thing. That's rubbish. The guy's contract expires when he gets officially healthy. So, and if the Dogs express an intention not to re-sign, they tell the NRL, we're not going to re-sign him. Why can't they just free up the $1 million?
Do you think there should be
not for next year, but for the future years? That's my point.
So do you think there should be different?
So not for the season that's coming, the season after that.
Yeah, because next year when that money, what I'm saying is when that money frees up for the big players, it's only going to be for 2022. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
But you said he's only got 1 year left on his contract,
No,
right?
for 2021. So it'll be next year's the last year. The money becomes available 2021.
Players are signing now for 2021, right? They're extending from 2021 onwards, or they're signing with different clubs from 2021 onwards, unless they've sort of released and they're playing somewhere else next year. My point is, if the Dogs maybe have an eye on someone right now that's off contract, maybe Latrell. I don't know. I'm just giving you an example.
For the 2020 year or the 2021 year?
2021.
Okay, so if he's not on contract on 2021, they can talk to him.
Because Latrell was off contract for next year? No, it's the year after, isn't it?
No, but he's getting a release.
Yeah,
he's asked for a release.
Yeah, I understand. But that's my point.
So let me ask you then: should there be? Sorry, go on.
But I don't see your point, because I just feel like if he's got.
I'm not saying Latrell.
If he's only got 2020 left, Kieran Foran. If he's only got 2020 left and 2021, that $1 million or whatever the amount that they've got is freed up, then they can negotiate with other players for 2021. There's no issue there.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be signing big players for 2021. They'll be signing big players whose contract ends at the end of 2021. So they'll be signing from 2022. Sounds so confusing.
It is, yeah.
So it wouldn't be for the 2021 season. It'll be for the 2022 season.
Yeah, that's the point. From next year, yeah.
So if they freed up... So you're saying that there's a lot of big players coming off that we could capitalize on 2020?
2021.
But you just said that a lot of 2021 players will come out in 2020.
No, because he's contracted for 2020.
I'm lost.
Look, hurry up. This decade coming up is going to be so shit.
All right, let me ask you a question then, right?
Look, if we could just think of it in a different way, right? I feel slack for Kieran Foran. I mean,
yeah, I do too. I'm not gonna. You haven't heard any diss from me, bro.
No, I'm not saying that, but we're just like
slack in what sense, but
he's a great player. Just the injuries.
Of course, slack in that, but the guy's getting $1 million for doing.
You think I should be angry?
Look, I mean,
as a fan,
yeah.
About what?
About him getting injured.
You know what that?
Did he try to get injured?
You saying that?
Of course
he gets paid $1 million. It's like those Facebook memes that like, would you slap your best mate in the face for $1 million?
100%. 100%. I wouldn't even.
I know, but like you're literally making it a Facebook meme. Like it's just because he gets paid $1 million doesn't mean.
No, I mean I feel bad for him, but I don't feel as bad as I would
because he's getting paid, or what's the go?
Of course, money helps. Bro. Money makes. But let me ask you this question. Yeah, one second. Let me ask you this question. I'm trying to ask for the last 5 minutes.
Sorry, bro.
Should clubs put in some sort of clauses saying that if someone does get injured, then naturally, whatever organized, whatever fee that they've organized from beforehand gets lessened to a certain extent?
No.
They'll lose that battle every time.
And
I'm saying if it becomes
you
uniform across the league,
a player will not accept it.
But it becomes uniform across because clubs aren't Canterbury entitled to some sort of compensation? You're talking about it right now, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
But Canterbury knew what they were buying before they bought Kieran Foran. They knew he was injury prone.
So this is just a pro play league.
This is it's
every league's like that now.
It's not really a pro player league
except NFL.
Because when you look at it, there are players out there that are in their first 2 years of their career who are playing great football, but they can't upgrade their contract because they're on their contract that's set for the next 3 years, and they only signed it because they didn't think they were going to make first grade as quickly as they did. So they have to sit there and honour their contract and make the peanuts that they're making, even though they're playing high caliber football for their team.
So certain situations you help the players, certain help the clubs.
Look, at the end
It
of
is
the
what
day,
it is,
it's
pretty
just
much.
a contract is a contract.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean
If-
much. Let's be honest.
I mean,
You can get released from a contract.
I don't really care
Sonny
about.
Williams.
I don't really care
Of
about
anyone
contracts.
now.
Like for me, I think NRL. Everyone puts this big thing about NRL contracts and you have to honor them and everything. Like, I don't. For me, it's just like,
So
Yeah,
speaking of contracts,
yeah, because if you think about it, right? If you're, who can I say? Let's say the Manly hooker Manasseh Fanua, right? Fainu, sorry. And he plays. Let's say he's signed for, let's say 200,000, right? He has a breakout season and becomes Dally M, hooker of the year, right? But he's contracted for the next 2 years. And another club is like, we'll offer you 800,000. I don't have an issue with him moving on to a next club if Manly or any other team don't want to pay him. NRL is one of the most lowest paid sports in the world. You're telling people to honor contracts of 200,000 for getting pretty much their head beaten in every single day, and they get brain damage and they get all these other things, and you want them to honor contracts. Mate, at the end of the day, you're there to get paid. You're there to do what you love, and if somebody else can offer you more, why not take it?
all right. Speaking of contracts, Abbas and Solo, the Trbojevic brothers signed a combined 6-year, $13 million deal with Manly. That sees them at Manly until 2026. Now these boys, Tom's 23, Jake's 25. What do you guys think? Good deal, bad deal? Agree, disagree?
So was that 13 million for both of them, or is that 13 million each?
No, it's together. The deal's
Oh,
together.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Canadian.
Probably like, what is it? One mil. One gets 1 mil. One gets one and a bit.
Yeah.
Something like that each year.
Where
Something
are
like that.
Manly getting this money? Cherry Evans is on $1 million.
Because they paid Uppy a lot back in the.
Oh, yeah. But Cherry Evans on a lot.
3 players on a mil.
3 players on $1 million. And how much is the salary cap? 10 mil.
Yeah, something like that.
They do well. They're doing well. They keep them low.
Tafua's got to be on good.
4 years ago, they got done for salary cap. They're doing pretty well.
They're doing well. They're doing all right. Now look, I think it's a great move for the brothers personally.
Oh,
For them too, great move. They weren't from what I saw. They weren't looking for any other club. They were interested in moving. They wanted to stay in Manly, stay loyal to their club, and then the club wanted to stay loyal to them. They remind me of the Stewart brothers a lot, obviously.
Much better.
But yeah, I think it's a great move for them. I think great move for the club. They're Origin players. They're talented. They're young. They play tests as well. Yeah, why not?
Now-
Great move.
Can I just say, we've been talking about Kieran Foran. What do we think about Trbojevic? I mean, he got injured, 3 times this season?
Yeah, he's young, but
23.
it's different.
Oh.
You take 5. You take 5 of those 6 seasons, him injury prone, and the 1 season he's all right, and they'll win a premiership. You'll take that.
I understand what you're saying, but when that injury comes in, and I love Tommy, right? But when that injury comes in the finals, it's like he got injured in the prelim, and then
Tom?
they had to,
No, he got injured against Storms in the end of the round, like last round or something.
26. Okay, so it was
Something like
before
that.
before the finals even
Just
started.
before it, yeah.
It was literally the worst time he could have got injured, or other than the semi-finals, like just before the grand final. Like, there's no, I don't know. Like, for me, it's just, I can see a conversation with us in a couple of years when we're talking about Tommy Turbo and the injuries that he's made, and what should Manly have $1 million freed up in their salary cap, just like what Zach said about Kieran Foran.
They could have said the same thing. You could have said the same thing about James Tedesco. He had 3 knee reconstructions early in his career. Everyone thought he was done. And look at him now. Like he's
But a lot of the workload has come off at the Roosters compared to what he did at the Tigers.
nah, man. He does a lot of work.
He
at the
does a lot of
Roosters,
work,
man. Like
but
they
he's
don't
he's
motor
more-
without him, man.
But he's more efficient with his work. He's not
But
doing.
Play smart.
No, but
he
but
plays
my
smarter, not harder.
But he still works hard, trust me. And
Oh,
if you
yeah,
see him
of
off the
course,
ball,
of course,
if
you
you see
can't-
him off the ball, there's nothing like
Yeah.
without him. When you watch games without him this year, they were bad.
Different team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but my point
you-
about
you-
my
you-
point about Tedesco is he got over the injuries eventually.
Yeah, but you
I
don't
think
get
I think Tom will eventually get over it.
but you don't get knee recos from off ball movement. You get knee reconstructions from when you get tackled and all these other, the
Nah, a
the
couple of
ruck
them
and
just
all
he
that.
stepped wrong or something. You know what I mean? Like really, really faint shit like that. Like really like nonsensical stuff. Like just freak stuff that happened to him. But again, the question was pointed to him. Was he worth signing? Was he worth keeping at the
Well,
top?
how long was his contract for?
At the Roosters?
How initially how long did they sign him for?
I can't remember, but it wasn't for a lot. But it was with the anticipation that Kronk goes, he gets that money.
No, not the amount. The years.
The years? I'm not sure. 3 years, I think, maybe.
Oh, let's see. That's not. I'm
3,
saying
4 years.
Tommy's on 6.
No, but the next contract will be longer with Tedesco.
Well, he's proved it now.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
But it's a different circumstance. It's brothers. It's not just Tom.
Oh,
If it was just Tom, it's
100%,
different.
I
But
understand, yeah.
when you want to keep brothers,
Look, Tom,
They're a family club.
look, Turbo, right? I mean, you know this. I've spoken to you a lot, but game 1 of Origin, I absolutely destroyed Freddie Fittler for not putting him in game
Yeah.
1 because he was just declared fit and he didn't have any game time.
yeah, he didn't play him.
Came in game 2 and absolutely won. I reckon he won the game for New South Wales. Everything he did was absolutely ridiculous. He won the game for New South Wales. One of the best fullbacks in the league. All right.
Played centre.
Played centre. Was it centre or winger?
He played centre.
Centre.
Killed it.
One of the best players in the league.
But he played like a second fullback, so it was crazy in that game, and it was
He-
boring, and he had an unbelievable game.
It's not even a question of when he's in form, is he worth $1 million? He's worth $1 million every day of the week that he's not injured.
Is Jake though? Is he worth $1 million?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Come
yeah.
on. Come on.
You don't notice it because he's a forward. He doesn't do flashy stuff. That's the difference.
You gotta notice him in
But
defense.
he's the engine, but
You
for
gotta notice
for
him in
them.
defense.
You saw when he got off in the semi-final when they were winning,
Mm.
and then he got sin binned. You saw what happened. They capitulated without him. He was the glue. If
We-
anyone else, I promise you, if anyone else got sin binned in that game, they still would have won because he was on the field.
You know, when
I
you're
guarantee it.
when you're a big prop, right, and you're going into the last 20 minutes of the game, and you're off your feet, you're tired, right? You want somebody like Jake Trbojevic in defense inside of you because you know that if you are not putting in 100%, or if you're like literally out on your feet and you can't do much, you know Jake Trbojevic is gonna cover you because that guy's just got an engine on him, man. He does not stop.
He's an honest player. Like
He's-
he'll keep you honest, and he'll keep the whole team honest. Like as in, he'll put in 100% every time.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment down below to let us know your thoughts. And until next time, take care.